Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AI workshop and November session. And this is an excellent topic, one that is definitely dear to my heart and my own experience in falling for, a fraudulent. Well, actually, it was funny. It wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't when I was looking for the job. It was actually right after I got the job. Like uh, in the same week that I started. Yeah, I definitely fell for something where I lost some money, and I'll get into that after Sam's presentation, because I definitely want to share that part because I think people should hear that because I consider myself very good about spotting things like this, and yeah, this one definitely caught me by surprise. But anyways, yeah, this is a very, very exciting topic. And I also just, again, as always, I want to thank our sponsors, Takeda and also Avidel for, yeah, hey, supporting us and helping us, have, these workshops like this, right? And to be able to have someone like Sam, an experienced, recruiter for 30 years, helping us, providing their knowledge and helping us, navigate a complex job market, right? I mean, really, it's complex, and it's become more complex. I think that was one of the things I really learned that it hit me. When a couple of years ago when I was looking for a job, actually, no, excuse me, a year ago when I was looking for a job, um, I thought, it was the usual. And being a former recruiter, but this is like back in the early 2000s, right? I mean, up to about 2010 being a recruiter, I didn't realize how drastic things had changed, right? And when I started submitting what I thought was a good resume, cover letters, things like that, well, it wasn't like that anymore. All that fluff and formatting you did, I mean, the AI systems just don't, they don't appreciate that, right? So I just wasn't getting the hits. And it took me 6 months to really figure that out. And I was like, okay, whoa, things have drastically changed because of technology. And so, yeah, like this topic right here. Well, part of that, drastic change, you do get people that try to take advantage of you. And so, yeah, that's why we have Sam here today, once again, to help walk us through and identify, things that can be fraudulent. And so, with that, Sam, let's go ahead and let's get into this.
Thank you, Alejandro. I appreciate the opportunity to present here. And again, it is going to get more prevalent and more ways of thieves are always two steps ahead of the cops, right? So you have to be very cognizant about who's calling you, how they're calling you. How many of you watch Beekeeper, right? Jason Statham movie, the old lady getting scammed for money. And you have seen a lot of the insurance you're not paid. That was never a big part of the job seeker market, but now they have entered the job seeker market because AI has taken over a lot of things. So it has become easier to make the job seeker and take advantage of those people. So stay safe while you search how to spot job scams and fraudulent listings. I'll give you some practical tips of where things are, and especially for the narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia community, right? Just let me know if you can see my slides, Alejandro.
I sure can.
Okay. Job searching can be overwhelming in itself. Now, if you add another layer of the scammers on top of it, it becomes a lot more unmanageable. I know Alejandro is going to share his own personal story later, but they specifically target vulnerable moments when you're eager for opportunities and may experience fatigue or brain fog. That makes it harder to spot the warning signs, right? If you ever come across a job posting that seemed to be too good to be true, you are not alone. Millions of job seekers encounter fraudulent listings every year, and the tactics are becoming more sophisticated with the AI generated content and the fake company websites that people can create on the fly within 2 seconds. Right? I can look at a company website and replicate everything, and it looks exactly same, except when you go into the URL, you will be able to spot whether that's a right company or not. right? And so be careful when it is too true, whatever. So I've been in recruiting for my entire career, and I can tell you some of the legitimate hiring practices and fraudulent tactics as people use in agency and in HR. I know Alejandro has experience in that. I have helped thousands of job seekers, even when this fraud was not. Um, what you will learn in this workshop is identify fake job listings, recognize recruiter scams, use AI verification tools, ask the right questions, right? There are some tools that are available, make use of it. Common job scam warnings are too good to be true salary. And now you will see the reverse of it. The people have starting to ask upfront payment request. I'll get you a job. I know Solomon, you're available. I think first they ask you, oh, what is the job you're looking for? Oh, wow, I happen to be this having the same job. I will be able to get you the job if you send me $5,000, right? And if you're making 70,000, 80,000, it's less than 10%. But you need to send me via credit card, go to Western Union, transfer the money, or buy me gift cards and send it to me. Or here's a bill that will you pay for my computer. They get the money in different formats, right? Vague job descriptions or too long of a job description. It may not be fake, but they don't know what they're looking for. But the vague job description, I'll tell you a personal story. Somebody who came to me last weekend on Friday, and she shared the story with me. I'll tell you how they did it. Um, you don't have an interview. You can start tomorrow or Monday. Excuse me. You can start tomorrow. Suspicious communication, emails from personal accounts, poor grammar, pressure to act quickly. You have seen the old car salesman. I'm not saying they're bad, but when you talk to them, they say, if you don't buy the car now, you're not getting a deal. Run. Don't wait to ask another question. Right? Poor grammar or pressure to act quickly. Professional recruiters use company email and respect your timeline. You get calls late in the evening. I can tell you no recruiter is working at 9 o'clock in the night or 10 o'clock in the night saying that they already knows that they have used tools to reverse engineer and find who's looking for jobs. And now they take protecting yourself on popular platforms on LinkedIn, Indeed, have two-step authentications in all these places. When you go apply, when you click on something, make sure that you're clicking the right tool. And the best way to do that sometimes is subscribing to a VPN. But you don't want to be spending that kind of money to do it. And I'm not a big proponent of spending money when you're in the job search. And don't pay these coaches who are going to be charging you $250, $300 to change your resume, to change your LinkedIn, to do this. And then you fall scam to some people like this, right? Verify company profiles, have legitimate employee networks. So when you go into LinkedIn, we'll see if you go and research a company, it will say how many employees there. When you know that less than 10 employees and they told you they're a big company, you know that it's not true. Check if recruiters have detailed work history. If that guy has, if you go and look at my LinkedIn profile, my Facebook, my Instagram, you will see that I'm a real person. I have so cross-verify through multiple channels if this person is real or not, right? And look at their history. If you go to my LinkedIn, you will see that I've been working for the same companies for the last 13, 14 years. Look for company websites and verified badges. My LinkedIn clearly states I'm verified, right? I have made sure that I gone through the clear process to be verified and whatever is there. They said, yes, it is Sam who lives in the United States, who's doing business in the United States, done all that. Research the connections and mutual contacts. This is the one thing job seekers really don't leverage a lot, but that's something you should be leveraging. You can go on Glassdoor, you can go on Indeed, you can go any of these review websites and see if there is good reviews on those things, right? And search for, I'll give you a small example here, right? I just made the mistake. This is some website in Netherlands selling paint or something. I don't know what it is, right? They're probably selling something. I don't know. I didn't. But I was looking for the website called, and look at the symbol here, right? It sounds so much close.
It goes for shopping also.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's so many fake websites that are
Yes, yes, absolutely.
replicating your product and like trying to
Correct.
undercut them,
And
and
that,
then
yes,
it works.
yes,
And then
yes, it
check.
happens, especially during the Thanksgiving, Black Friday weekends.
Oh yeah.
People look at for the deals. So when I will append my presentation and send, I will add a section for shopping. You always should shop in the incognito mode and don't shop in the regular mode because you're not going to get. So this is the site I was looking for, right? Look at the two G's. One has a circle around it and one has a square around it. But the fonts look a similar. This is square and this is round. So when for the naked eye, sometimes we are vulnerable at they get you at the time. Oh yeah, it's the same site. I'm going to add my details in there, and then you go and you give your personal details. It's called phishing sites also, right? There a lot of these sites that do the phishing side. So if you really, that is something that you should be careful. You should look at it and see what you can do to stay away
Same
from those things.
same with the emails. Like
Yeah,
check
yeah,
their
everything.
email account. Like because
Absolutely,
one letter might be
absolutely.
missing, and that's a sign it's not legit.
I'll tell you a funny story at the end. That's AI tools for job search safety. Use AI search tools to verify company registration, leadership teams, business legitimacy across multiple sources. Analyze job posting language. AI can help you identify suspicious patterns, inconsistency. That is the one thing that AI can do without any hesitation, recognizing patterns. Research contact profiles, generate smart questions. Anytime somebody is on the phone and they wants to, you can say, I think this is a fake job solicitation. What question should I ask? Go to any of the chat GPT, any of those things and ask those questions, and it will tell you exactly what it is, and it will give you some questions to verify the legitimacy and demonstrate your diligence during the interview. This workshop is especially helpful for remote job seekers because everybody wants a remote job, individual navigating fatigue or brain fog, first timer or returning job seekers. Remote positions are becoming increasingly targeted by scammers because they are harder to verify. Learn specific strategies for vetting. You might have heard the controversy with the North Korea farm, right? That people were operating from North Korea. Not only they are fake job postings, they're also fake job seekers from different countries trying to penetrate our defense systems, our security, and hack us into it. So they thought it's easier to be a job seeker, get into the company. They have documents which show that they are real. And then we find out that they have been operating from North Korea. They bought a farm here, and the computer was sent to that farm, but everything was being operated from North Korea. Right. When managing conditions like narcolepsy or idiopathic hypersomnia, the cognitive load of the job searching becomes even more challenging. We will provide clear checklists and verification steps you can use when energy is limited. First time as a return. That I have seen a lot happening because now you're not sure about. Say, yeah, you don't need to know AI. We will help you to get to the AI. We'll get you the job and then we will train you on it. Just send us 5,000. Just send us $10,000, right? Because now you say, oh, he's getting a job and he's giving me training. I think it's worth it, right? You don't fall for this. Your questions during the hiring process, can you provide details about your company, physical location, main offices? What is your standard interview and onboarding process? How do you typically communicate with candidates throughout the hiring process? Can I speak with someone from the team I would be working with? What background check process do you use and who covers the cost? These are just some of the questions that you should be asking any employer, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, right? You deserve to have a safe job search experience. Your job search journey should be focused on finding the right opportunity, not worrying whether this offer is legitimate or not, right? I've seen a lot more people pay $1,000, $3,000 I had somebody who paid $15,000 for a job because they offered him 300K salary, and they were going to train him for 6 months on AI, and he doesn't have to pay for the training. And they showed him things that this is costing you that much, this is costing, but we are going to give you free training. Yeah, your job search should be focused on finding the right opportunity. You're able to confidently navigate online platforms, spot red flags before they become problems, and protect your personal information throughout the process. And one of the things that I'm starting to tell people is the voice cloning is getting so much closer to your original voice. So when you get a fake, the spam call, and you just answer, hey, who's this? That's all they need. That's the only sample set they need. They can replicate it and they can put it exactly like your voice. And they write a script, and the voice will read that script and it'll say, hey, honey, hey, Melissa, I've just lost my ATM PIN number. Can you give it to me? Right? Melissa is going, oh, okay. Here's your PIN number. Right? But I have told families you should have a secret passcode. Don't share it with anybody. If they're in trouble, you ask for the secret passcode. They tell you, then only you give information to them. Until then, do not share any information with anybody or do any of those things. As somebody who likes to support the job seekers, I will send you some of the safety checklist and other things that you can use going forward in your job seeking career. And that's basically what it is. Alejandro, I will open up for some questions and then I'll show you a few sites that we can look at, right?
Right. There any
Uh,
questions, anybody?
or if you have experiences, please share. So,
I know I definitely will share mine. Or give some opportunities for questions, but yeah, no, give a few moments here. Let me just see if I got anything in the chat. Um, and I do. So the question is, how do you, like, when it comes to, a company, and this is this person's experience, is, being told that, you have to buy your equipment up front, like a laptop, things like that up front, right? So it's really flagging that type of thing. That's a big red flag.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a red flag.
Okay.
And if they want to pay for the equipment, tell them you can send me an advance from my salary. I will buy the equipment, and when I leave, I will give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's it.
Okay, cool.
Or some companies will ask you, do you have a laptop that you can use? If you have a personal laptop, you say yes and you use it. Right?
Right.
That's it. You do not pay for anything. You do not you pay for equipment. You do not pay for shipping. You do not do any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
People have started to ship CODs laptops, right? So they say you have the job, we are going to ship you a laptop and you might have to pay for it, and it's a cash on delivery, right? So
Uh-huh.
they use all these agencies to get those money and transact into their accounts. I wouldn't use it.
Wow.
I would, yeah.
And then is there a way to detect it? And like, to your point, you were saying, and this question revolves around like the whole voice thing, right? Where AI now is generating these voices that sound more like a human, right? Um, so how do you, like, let's say you do call up, to kind of screen, right? But it's an AI voice. And how do you detect that? Are there things to look for that might be obvious?
So they're all trained on certain questions that as a job seeker you ask,
Mm-hmm.
right? They might have answers to it, right? And throw them off by asking questions that it never expected out of you.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. Like when I start an interview, I'll give this happened to me this past week on Thursday. somebody's looking for $120 an hour job. And when I looked at the resume, I could tell it was ChatGPT written. So he fed the job description and he told ChatGPT to write a resume that fits it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that ChatGPT resume 1 week ago for somebody in a live session, and I saw the fonts, and immediately I knew it was written by ChatGPT. Right? So I know he's going to be smart enough not to answer those questions and get caught. So I said, look at the job description. Tell me something on this job description that you don't have. He was thrown off. I built a trust with him before that. He was thrown off. And then what happened was he said, I never worked with a certain technology. And I did a control F, right? And I checked on his resume. There were 28 instances of that word on his resume, which he never worked.
Oh, wow.
Right. So I immediately asked, so he's like, oh, um, being a boy and a girl is the same. Yeah, there are a few parts that are different, but it's the same. It's easy. If
Mm-hmm.
I work, if I know what to do, right? Is his answer. And, but if it was other recruiters, they looked at his resume. Wow, it matches the job description so much. I will submit it and I will lose money.
Wow.
Not only money, I will lose my lifetime value on that particular client,
Right.
which is what I don't want to do, right?
Right.
At the end. And again, there are certain telltale signs when somebody asks, "Oh, sorry, oh, you tell me what type of an agency are you that is charging money up front? I thought you get paid by the client, not by the candidate."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are a premium service. Okay. I really don't need a premium service. I will find a job where the recruiter gets paid by the company, not by the candidate, right?
Right.
Until unless you are an executive CEO, you work with certain companies, you don't need to be working with recruiters who are charging you money to find you jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like a red flag just right off the
Right. It
Absolutely red
does.
flag.
get-go.
And then the other question is, how can you tell from like and I too have experienced this, and I never really answered them, but like, how can you tell like when you get a generic email, like, and I remember getting some of these emails, they just seem really generic, like, hey, I'm a recruiter, from this company. Again, I think to your point, right? It's just maybe copying that email, looking at like where the email address is coming from, and going through like Chat GPT to see, okay, is this legit? And the other thing is like, and how are these people finding you?
How are they finding you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question. Anything when you do in public domain, buying a house, getting divorced, getting married, and the things you will be able to find every bit of information on you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're going to these shopping sites, when you put your name or you answer something, it will do a reverse engineering and scrape out data.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there are nefarious players in the market who I'll show you a quick one. Um, in URL resume in title CV. Right. And I will say Java. I'm just going to minus jobs. I'm at somebody's place, so sometimes this internet is slow. Somebody was asking about shopping. One of the tricks of shopping is here. You go into the incognito mode and
Mhm.
shop. Don't
I,
go into the direct mode and shop,
I
or
tend
use, or go to
incognito
DuckDuckGo.
like all the time. Um,
Yeah.
as far as like you'd said, pretty much any AI should be able to do the searching into, say, the email address or the URL. But am I mistaken that like certain AI like Perplexity, maybe ChatGPT versus like Gemini are going to be more capable of the scraping the actual like live web versus Gemini seems like it might have a little bit of restrictions. Am I mistaken in that? Do you know?
It's not, everybody has his own thing, but the way that you need to play around with it. Um, so I'll send you some specific examples, Solomon, and then we will look at it. Right. Here is, I'm just using my example. I'll show you here. Right. You see, I have more than 500 connections. I'm a recruiter, right? I have 500 plus connections. I am There are 15,981 connections that I have. Um, right. Here it is. I've been working there for 9 years. I've been working there for 12 years. And if you do a quick search, right, it says here I have 16,000 followers. Here's an email, here's a phone number, there's an email address. It is a domain, all the two domains. And if you cross-reference me on the LinkedIn, you will show that I worked at Amazon.com and eTechie, right? Here, I'm on a state website, state of Texas, DIR,
Mm.
right? It has the address, it has my name, it has my official email address, it has my phone number, it has everything. So you will find my search at least 10 pages deep, right? If I go to the 10th page, you'll find something that told something about me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw volunteer at PWN. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just was getting at I thought I'd heard that like some of the specific AI models are more capable or better at like
You
I
should
mean
play
it's
around with all of,
probably yeah, no, I've been playing around with them all. I just
yeah, yeah.
I
And then you see this one, right? It's not like, yeah, can people create this very easily nowadays? Absolutely. But when you look at it, you will be able to tell that you have these things and it is not something. So here is a note that I put. They won't be able to create a lot of activities, right? I have that, but if you look at all my activities, show all posts, right? You'll be able to see all the things that I posted. This is the things, right? And comments, wherever I made comments, images of me, right? You'll be able to see that is where the legitimacy comes in, right?
like when I did the when I applied for that photography thing with Merker, it did the AI interview, but there was no contact or person affiliate. It was just like all AI. So I tried to do
Yeah,
a little
I
bit
wouldn't
digging
do
into
that. I would
that.
just think about it
It
and do what you need to do.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Just the
I'll
things
stop
that.
sharing.
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting just to think the things that have changed and how people really want to just take advantage. I mean, again, yeah, I love to share just my personal story. And again, mine was after I got hired. Granted, while I was going through the job process, I was kind of following the protocols that you were discussing, right? Now, I wasn't using AI. I was just kind of my knowledge and just kind of being careful. Like something looks suspicious, okay. I'd ignore it, whatever. But I got hired, and I want to say like the third day I was hired. And this is something to keep in mind too for anybody out there. It's important that when you get onboarded, that you actually have your boss's cell phone number. When I got onboarded, I didn't at that time. And so I remember getting a text message from someone that was pretending to be my boss, asking if I can run, to the nearest like Best Buy or somewhere to get some Apple gift cards, for some of the board members, something like that. It was right. And so they knew I was recently employed. They're asking me to do this task, and this is like my director, I'm thinking, right? So I do, right? I go and I buy 2 gift cards as instructed. I take a picture of them and send it over, right? I text it right over, and you get it was interesting because you get like this thank you and then stand by, right? Message. And
Yeah.
at that time, I like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I didn't really think too much into it. So then again, another text message comes back, and it's like, hey, actually, I need you to go grab some more. This is what I need you to get. And okay, all right, I'll go back in. And it was interesting because the second time I went back in, that's when the employee who was scanning the gift cards is like, are you sure this isn't fraud? That because we get these kinds of things, and I'm like, no, this is my boss, no. So again, I'm now like $800 into these Apple gift cards. Take the pictures of those, send them over, and I get that standby message again, and I'm like, and then I think about what the salesperson just said, and I'm standing outside of the Best Buy, and I'm like, I think I just been scammed. And that's when I send an email to my director, and she's like, that wasn't me. And yeah, sure enough, yeah, I fell for $800 worth of a gift card scam because they knew from when this company hired me, they made an announcement in LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
And that's how they found me. And they pretended to be my director. And which is interesting. When I got hired with PWN, to this very day, I get emails like that now. Somebody always pretending to be Jane, right? Asking
I
these tasks. And yeah, it's interesting.
I will tell you something that happened to somebody that I was driving in the car, and he said, Sam, I got this email. In fact, we're driving down to his house right now. I got this email saying that, and you know how they created? They created an email saying that this invoice is due, you need to pay it. And they sent an email to that person, and they created that fake email that they have sent. And the bosses replied to this particular person and saying, yes, please pay it. Right? They
Uh-huh.
created the whole chain of emails, and then they sent this to him saying that, hey, when are you going to pay this? It's due immediately. I need you to pay ASAP, otherwise your account is going to be closed.
Oh,
Right? So they created a whole chain of emails,
wow.
like it generated, like if anybody looks at it, it looks like, yeah, this email, my boss wrote it and he sent it, and he's telling go ahead and pay. Right? But the only difference is there was one letter missing in the way in the one additional letter. Instead of R, it stops at R. They added an E at the end, and if you don't have good, and they even the color combination was exactly like the same like our company colors.
Whoa, that's scary.
Yeah. So they are 2 steps ahead of things that we are doing, and that's what they are doing. Right?
Oh,
Is there any other
wow.
questions?
Well, I mean, really to talk about just, fraud in general and Solomon, you make a great, point in the chat. And this is something we've been hearing about, watching out for the state like bridge or road tolls that they now send out via text or email. And I also get these texts that it's pretending to be like I have some warrant, out for me. You're right. And I know to ignore those, right? I mean, those are just, that is a scam that, hey,
See,
law enforcement
that
does not operate via text.
that train has left the train station long time ago.
Yep.
There are new ways of getting the FBI emails,
Yep.
like
Yep.
Solomon put,
Yeah.
right?
Or
There are a lot
pretending
of
to be
that.
the IRS, right? Now, we all know the IRS actually sends their
A
communication,
letter.
yes, via a letter, right? They're not going to call you or text you.
So I've heard somebody's tell me they got an IRS letter which was fake.
I was wondering, I mean, as I was saying that, I was wondering, I'm like, are there going to be fake IRS letters? And
Yes.
again, even for being in the workforce, because you are somebody that pays taxes, right? That's part of being in the workforce. How did they know that it was fake? I mean,
So
did they catch
you
it?
also can look at it. The letter will not say irs.gov. It will say irs dot something.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing,
So
right? Or looking for the logo, like something off
yeah, yeah.
logos, right? Or like you're saying, the IRS is not going to misspell in their letters, right? So
No,
it's
no.
things like that. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's very scary that, especially,
So I
we're
have a list of things that I will add and send it to you, and
perfect.
you can share it with the in a checklist. You
And
can
that'll be
share it
great
with
because,
people.
as unfortunately we're getting into the holiday season, where these types of things really ramp up. They ramp up a lot. Like, I'll be honest with everybody today, I actually got 3 text messages. I've been getting these text messages that are just random. They're like a random conversation, right? One was actually sexual. And then the other two were just like, hey, do you want to go hang out one night and eat cow? Right?
The one thing that you just said, the first one that you got, if you click on that link, what will happen is it will start sending you some naked pictures, and then it will tell you if we are going to blackmail you because if you don't pay us this money, we're going to send this to all the channels.
Yeah, that's right, right? Be careful what you're clicking. I mean, interesting
Yeah.
enough, none of these had links, but I'm not going to respond to them. But again, I mean, Sam, thank you for mentioning it because you hear about that, where people are being held up for ransom because they've clicked on some type of link or
Or they just, when you click it, it will take over all your accounts,
right.
and they change the return address. Everything goes to them, not to you,
Right. And
when you
I think
respond
that's
to something.
why, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's why it's really important that when you're looking for jobs and applying, it's either apply directly to that employer, and ensuring that it's not a fake website, but it's their real website, or trusted job boards like LinkedIn,
Yeah.
like the others, right? Of course, I'm drawing a blank, but you know what I mean, like Indeed and everybody, just to ensure you're protecting yourself
And
there.
also, if you can find their other social media presence, right?
Right.
I'm a recruiter. I don't just have LinkedIn. I have Twitter. I have other things, right? So look at those social presence of that person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, this one definitely was, touched me just because of my personal experience. I'm glad I'm able to laugh about it now. Believe me, I was not laughing.
No,
And
no.
unfortunately, yes, I
But
did use my
but
American Express.
imagine if it was before you got the job and you had done that.
Right. Well, exactly. I mean, really. Well, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, too, because it involved gift card transactions, I wasn't protected by American Express. I mean, I even called up American Express and they were like, because you purchased gift cards, that is like cash.
Yes.
We're not gonna, give you back your $800. So that's the other thing, really, just don't fall for those things. Yeah, just they're coming at every angle, you know.
Yeah.
They really used me because again, I want to make sure I was doing what my director was asking me to do because that's how I work. I want to make sure that I'm making sure that I am doing what's asked of me, right? And
Yeah.
promptly. And, they took advantage of that. And hey, but I'm not falling for that anymore. But unfortunately, I think my name now is on a list of somebody that has fallen for it. So that's
They
why,
will keep trying. They'll keep
yeah, and they
trying.
do keep trying, but I'm not falling for it anymore.
Lots of bots. Those texts are like bots that will use your
Oh,
number,
and
Yeah.
other
call,
people's phone numbers, and it's
right?
a big tangled mess of
Web. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
not
I
good.
also get ones on a daily basis. I get somebody multiple times throughout the day. I'll get calls from somebody pretending to be some bank that's doing loans,
Yeah.
And again, just don't fall for them. That's the key, and do your due diligence in ensuring that you're investigating, you're
Before
questioning.
you send that money, you can send it
Yeah.
to me. Not don't send it to them.
And Sam, you have
Or to the PWN or donate that money to them.
But Sam, I do want to just make you made an excellent point, or a great suggestion. Have some type of safe phrase, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking that's something I need to do with my wife, where we have that safe phrase, so then we know that yeah, this is actually the person I need to be talking to. It's not
The
someone.
family code. The
Yeah,
family code.
the
Yeah.
family code. I like that. So definitely encourage the family code so you don't fall into any of those traps that your family member is in distress, even though it's not your family member.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else, anybody? Any questions? Anything else? No? All right, cool. Sam, is there anything
Thank
else?
you.
Good.
No, that's it. Thank you
All
very much.
right.
Great
Appreciate
tips.
it. And
No,
then,
thank you.
Yeah,
This is
thank you.
great, and can't wait for our next AI workshop in December. Yeah, so it'll be exciting. We'll close off the year just kind of revisiting everything. I think that's kind of one of the topics that I am thinking we're doing, but I'm going to double check right now just so I have it in front of me. And yeah,
and what is the date?
15th. It's on the 15th of December, Monday the 15th.
I just
And
want to let you know if you can move it to the Wednesday of that week because I'm in London during that week.
oh yeah, definitely. We can definitely move it. And we can also change the time if we need to make
No,
it.
no, 18th is good. I'll be back on the 16th. So
Okay. No,
18th,
no worries. Yeah.
17th, the Wednesday, the following Wednesday is good. After
All right.
the 16th, 17th, 18th is good.
Cool. Yeah, and we're
Thank you
just
very
going to be
much.
revisiting all these strategies, open conversation, all that kind of fun stuff. So no,
Yeah,
Sam, thank you so much for everything you're
thank
doing
you.
for us. And yeah, everybody have a great night. It was good seeing everyone.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye.